people my age sort of got to the point where we don't trust things anymore, because we know we can be lied to. We know like the media can lie to us, or the government can lie to us. So we're less trustful of institutions. Where I think that's why you get people my age a lot of times libertarians. Where they sort of feel like they want the governments to keep their hands off. But I'm not a libertarian, and I feel that there's a place for government, but at the same time, I'm distrustful of government because without the proper oversight, public oversight, the government can do a lot of things that it shouldn't. I mean, they can go outside the public interest. So I think that's really kind of what sets us, is this whole thing of what happened with Vietnam and Richard Nixon, and that gives us, to me, our kind of defining attitude where and also too, we don't think, sometimes people my age don't think a lot about other people, the rest of the future and everything like that, because we feel like we've been kind of lied to and stuff like that. It's kind of like we only think of ourselves. I don't feel that way myself, but I know that attitude. You hear it a lot, like, well, I'm, basically, I've got to get mine. So, and it's my right, and I don't know if that's a healthy attitude for people to take. So, but again, I think it all comes from the cynicism that comes from the government lying to the public in such a gross way. So. Yeah.
So do you think your feelings were different than your rest of the generation, or were they?
I think I'm pretty common, except for I probably tend to be more middle of the road than most people. I mean, usually people my generation tend to be one way or the other. They either tend to be very liberal or very conservative, and I'm kind of a middle of the road sort of guy. But even the whole thing about it is that whether they're conservative or they're liberal, it's all based upon the same thing. It's this mistrust of the government, that the government can't do its job, that the government is wasting money because they're crooked, or or something like that. In other words, it's still this basic distrust of the government and the ability of the government to do well. So the liberals want to change government, and the conservatives want to get rid of government. So. And the libertarians want to get rid of the government too. I mean, they just feel the government's bad because they did all these things, and